going on, people, and welcome back to totalozspurs. And a lot has happened in the time that we have been away. But before we get into it, Delane, how are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's been a while. Been a while since we've been on this videos, but hey, we're back, and we're ready to get back into action again.
Yeah, we were away because one of our members here at Total Spurs got married on the weekend. Brad,
Yeah,
my little brother, got married. We were both at the wedding, Delane and I. I was
yeah,
lucky enough to be a groomsman. Had a mint weekend. I had a
100%, man.
got back on Sunday, but thought we'd give it a couple of days of rest before we get back into it. And
Yep,
before we go in, guys, make sure you are liking and subscribing to the channel. Um, hit the comments down below. Let us know how you're feeling. And there's a shit ton of stuff that has happened in the last, few days since we did our last video.
yeah, man.
Joe Lewis. So let's just start with Joe Lewis. If you don't know, you probably do know, people out there, that he has now been officially charged with 16 counts of security fraud. This can also carry a sentence of up to 20 years. And then he also has 3 counts of conspiracy to commit securities fraud on top of that. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. But, bro, how are you feeling on this stuff about Joe Lewis?
Man, like seriously, it's just like this club has always got some criminals in it, man. Like it's just I just don't know. Like the likes of Paratici, him getting charged by Juventus, and now look, our owners, or one of the owners of Tottenham is getting charged as well. So I mean, we're we're a club full of criminals, to be honest. If you want to put it into perspective, like it's our
Yeah.
club, yeah, it's just full of just criminals. Like I just don't understand it.
Well, I feel like we're a dodgy Robin Hood. We steal from the poor to give to the rich, and we steal from the rich to give to the rich.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
it just seems that all the people up above care about is making money, and for me, it's I don't know how you can own a club, um, or a team that you say you're a fan of, and not want the best for the team in terms of winning.
Yeah,
Because I tell you now, like I support Parramatta Eels in the rugby out here in Australia, and even though the game has gotten soft, part of the reason why I kind of fell out of love with the game as well was because Parramatta was so bad for so long, about 5 or 6 years where they were getting the wooden spoon and all that shit, and that also obviously because the game's gotten softer made me fall out of love with it. But if your team's not winning and not doing well, and it's not because of anything that you can do as a fan or as a bystander, it's disgusting to see that, as you said, our club's full of criminals and no one is doing anything about it. You know, I mean, what can we do as fans, as even the players or the manager? What can they do to stop this shit from happening? Because it's easy just to rip up a contract and get rid of you at this day and age.
yeah, 100%, man. Like I think, you just gotta look at like what the players are gonna be thinking. Like where's this club gonna be going? What kind of direction are they going? And with all these charges, like all these, ownerships, or the owners are getting, the sporting directors are getting, it's just like, what's going on? Like, do the players have a say in it, or are they just thinking, oh, maybe we just focus on the football side of things and just carry on? But at the end of the day, it's still in the back of their minds because the owners are, they could either sell up and you don't know who's going to buy in, and it's just like, yeah, I feel sorry for the actual players themselves. Not getting told. They probably don't even know about this. They probably don't even know about this, which um I wouldn't want to know either if I was one of the players. I wouldn't want to know what's going on, but at the same time, I want to know what kind of direction this club is going. And by the looks of it, it's just it looks like we're just going to jail at the moment. All these, all these criminals in this club. It's just like, I don't know, man. I just really don't know. You don't see any other club do this kind of shit. It's
Yeah, we're
just
the only club in the world that seems to have these problems.
yeah,
And even the buys are now looking like they're Levy buys, not Ange buys.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially the Vicario and the Solomon. I don't know if you've seen it. It's just been announced that they're doing a big donation to Ukraine for the match against Shakhtar because they are a
Yeah.
Ukrainian team.
Hmm.
Lo and behold, we get one of their players. Seemed fitting. It's just
Yeah.
like how he went to Australia and conveniently hired an Australian coach. For
Yeah.
me, it feels like there's too many coincidences now. And how funny is it that we were trying to sell Sanchez to a Russian team, and now we're standing by Ukraine, supporting them in our next home game. Like the club is an absolute shambles, and I don't know. I'm tired. I look tired. I feel tired. I'm tired of even thinking about it. There's a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
man.
that I'm tired of at the moment with Tottenham, and I'm scared for the start of the season. But we will try and move on to something a bit more positive that's got to do with the ownership. JC. Looks like Jay Z is looking at maybe getting into partnership with the club. Now, I'm pretty sure Beyonce has her own, either had a show or has a show. I can't remember. Don't keep track on what other shows we have apart from the Tottenham games at the stadium. It looks like Jay Z's interested. I think he was invested with the Denver Nuggets, if I'm not, or it might be the Mets. Um, let me just double check that, but he has had a touch in sport in the past.
Yeah.
Um, sorry, Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, Brooklyn Nets. Um, and he's worth about 2 billion net worth. Um, so he's had a bit of a sporting input. Obviously, he's a massive name around the world. Him and his partner Beyonce. But how realistic do you think this interest is? Because for me, he isn't going to, unless Joe Lewis has to sell at a cut price, there's no way that Jay Z will get this over the line.
Um, yeah. Well, from what I read, I think he was saying himself he doesn't know too much about the football side of things, but business he knows about. So I mean, I think him and a couple of other companies are looking at buying into Tottenham. And for me, if Jay Z is really serious about this, then I mean, I think Joe Lewis will put up a hefty price. I think he's yeah, it's one of those things that we gotta JC's really gotta think about. But for hey, if this is positive news and he really wants to take over, I'm all for it. I'll take it. I think he will actually change the club.
Or
And he
do you think
actually
it's going to be like Michael B. Jordan at Bournemouth, where he seems like to be like a share ownership, where him and his company have shares in the club? Do you think that'll mean they get a say, or do you think it'll just be that they will donate money to build infrastructure that will eventually generate money?
uh I think they'll spend a bit of money, but then also they'll just try and use the stadium as I said, as the stadium to try and promote more things and try to get more, maybe go to a concert, maybe get his partner Beyonce to perform a lot more there. I think it's really hard to know what he's going to do if he takes over. It's really hard to know what he's going to do, but at the same time, like if Joe Lewis has been found with all these charges and he's could be sent. I mean, I think Joe Lewis has to pretty much sell up the club, and I mean, but then also you got to look at the Saudis. I think they'll sniffing around as well to try and buy into the club.
Well,
So
no, I think it's the Qataris. So
Qataris, sorry, not the Saudis, yeah, the
Sheikh
Qataris.
Yassim, I think that's how you say his name. He's the guy that's going for United, but if he's missing out on United, he has said that he wants to create a footprint in the Premier League, and we are probably the likely club. Now that could be perfect. They could sweep in.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't like oil money. I prefer to be a club that does its own thing, but I think they're the only type of owners that we're going to get now with the amount that they want to sell the club. So if it's anything to get Levy and Enoch out, I'm all for it at the moment. I think like I'd rather take blood money than actually no, I wouldn't, but you know what I mean. It's the way that we're being treated as fans and as a club. It's disgusting. I think Levy can never say he's a fan of the club because
I
no
don't think
fan
he.
is able to sit there and watch what we've watched the last 20, 23 years and say
Mhm.
that they're happy with what they've done. Obviously, he's a businessman and his pockets are lined now, but as a fan, it would break my heart if, sorry about that, my bloody computer decided to try and turn off. Um, but moving on from the owners, because that's something that will be spoken about the next few weeks.
Yeah.
Briefly on the Harry Kane issue, I mean, I'm sick of talking about it. The saga
Mhm.
still continues. I'm hearing that they're 20 mil off the valuation, and we want a buyback clause
Mhm.
for in the next couple of years. Now, look, I'm one of two things, right? I do like the idea of having a buyback clause because I think Harry Kane has the technique to play at the top level for another 5 or 6 years. He's only 30. He could probably play like Lewandowski's still banging in goals, and he's 36, I think. Ronaldo's a freak still playing. There's players that are playing well into their late 30s that they shouldn't. And Harry Kane's a top professional. Now, the only thing I look at it is like kind of like Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney kind of dropped off once he couldn't run and because it wasn't as agile, because he lost all ability, he went back into the field, was half the player he originally was, and then kind of teed it off down in Derby. So, and then went to America, obviously. So, would you take 85 mil and a buyback clause in 2 seasons for Harry Kane for like 30 mil, or would you just sell him for the highest price and not worry about the buyback clause?
Nah, I think the buyback clause would be a great offer. As much as if it does get triggered, but at the same time, I think Levy wants more money. More money, the better for him. Which I really don't understand why. I mean, if the guy is that edge to go, if he really wants to go, then why are we? You might as well just just cut a little bit of price off it, get the buyback clause, send him on his way to Bayern Munich, get a couple of years in Bayern Munich, and then we'll just if he wants to come back, he can come back. But
Mm,
the longer this goes on, and I'm hearing it's going towards the end of the week. There's pretty much the cutoff, and if it goes all the way to the end of the week, and eventually they don't come to agreement, then we're gonna lose him on a free because he'll just say, "Nah, I'm tired of hearing this. I'll just stay. I'll leave on the free, and I'll go choose who I want to play for." And that's what
yeah,
we don't want. We don't want to lose him on a free because then that's money gone. So I mean, you just gotta take the best of the best. You just take that, you know, let Bayern pay that 20 mil, gap. I'll pay that valuation gap, and then get the buyback clause, and then send him on his way. So then we can get the saga over. Because at the moment, right now, the longer this goes on, the more likely that we won't be able to get, or we won't be able to get no money, and we're just going to be worrying about this hurricane, and then we got more problems at the back. So I mean, we just really need to sort this saga out.
yeah. Like Jay Z says, you've got 99 problems,
Yeah,
but the fans aren't one. That's how I see it. But you're right. With the whole hurricane thing, I'm overhearing about it. Honestly, if they're going to send him on his way, send him on his way.
yeah,
Don't make us fans, um, sit here and beg for him to stay.
yep,
But at the end of the day, we also can't, give in to other clubs because they know that they know that we're desperate to either make money off him or to keep him. So for me, I kind of hoped that Levy would come in and offer him everything they can to keep him to stay.
yeah.
Offer players all kinds of contracts to get him into the club.
Yep.
But obviously, we know what Levy's like.
Yep.
And I'm honestly, I'm honestly overhearing about it. I don't know about you, but all I hear about is Hurricane, Hurricane, Hurricane.
That's all I
Um,
hear as well, man. That's all I hear as well, and it's just really irritating me because we got more problems than fucking Hurricane at the moment.
yeah, I mean, we still don't have any centre backs, and we are how many days out? It's
I think we're like,
August the 1st, so it's nearly been 2 months since the window has opened.
yep.
And our first game is next weekend. I'm pretty sure it's on the actually no, the 12th or the 15th. Let me double check.
I
Where's
think,
my
yeah, I think it's the
phone?
12th. I think it's the
Because we
12th.
play Shakhtar on Sunday, and then 2 days later, I think we play. Uh,
Brentford.
yep, it's the 12th. So we play Sunday morning on a Sunday night at 11 p.m. next
Yeah.
weekend. So
Yeah.
we are literally 12 days out from the start of the season, and we have no centre backs. We don't know what's going on with Harry Kane. Um, I did hear a rumor that apparently we're going for Osman for 120 mil. That's highly unlikely. We don't do that
100%.
kind of thing. I don't. And what worries me though is if we sell Harry Kane, they won't use the money
Yeah.
for the team. They'll just bank it. And then with the whole thing of Joe Lewis, I honestly think they might be even going, fuck it, we're not going to spend any more money because we don't even know if we're going to be here. We don't even, because the thing is with the whole Joe Lewis thing is if like anyone's found in the club, even in Enoch, that's benefited from his insider trading, um, they could face charges too. And they could also be forced to sell. And even though Joe Lewis doesn't own the club, Enoch kind of do with Levy. If someone comes in and buys a majority share, um, they can end up shipping out the rest of the guys and going, see you later. You don't have any control. So I think it's going to be a very, very, very rough. We've only got 30 days until the end of the transfer window now, and I'm not hopeful, to be honest. I feel like this is going to be just on par with when we didn't buy anyone under Poch for a whole transfer window. Um, Some
Yep.
more numbers things before we wrap it up. Sanchez, Davison Sanchez, who was pretty much touted on his way out before we started preseason. Before we started the first game in Australia, it's been offered to Forest, which wouldn't be too bad. And Tangay and Dombele has been offered to Galatasaray in Turkey for a season-long loan with the option to buy. We'll end on these two. D, how are you feeling about those two rumours, and would you take them?
The Sanchez to Forest, yes, definitely. I would definitely sell him up to Forest. I think, Forest could use, quick centre backs. I mean, and plus Sanchez is probably not going to get looking with Ange's system. So, I mean, I think, I think I would sell Sanchez to Forest and then Dombele to Turkey, to Galatasaray, sorry. Well, I thought he was going to stay. The way Ange was talking about him, saying, "Oh, I'll give him another chance." But I think now that we see what Lo Celso can do in that midfield, I think there might be no room for Ndombele. So I mean, look, we just have to wait and see. I think we just have to wait and see if they're going to pay up the money, for these two players. So
Yep.
at the moment, right now, I think we're just waiting patiently for these offers to be, finalized, and then we'll go from there. But at the moment, oh yeah, I'll sell both of them. I'll get rid of both of them, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, like the way it's going, I'm on the same boat. I think Lo Celso has looked quite good, and if it was out of him and Ndombele, I'd keep him. But I think both of them do need to go, like I always say. But if we're going to keep one, Lo Celso's the guy for me. Now, guys, what we have coming up, just thinking about it now, it is Tuesday night as we record this. Going to try and get a video out on Thursday night. Um, any touch ups on anything that's happened. And then, depending on when the game is, I don't know when the game is here in Australia.
I
Let
think
me
it's
just
on
have a
a
quick look.
Monday.
No, because it might be because it's a Sunday. Let me just have a look when we can have a. It's going to be. I don't even know what time we play it on in England. Oh, okay. So it is
Sunday.
going to be 2 p.m. Uh, 2 p.m. in London, so it'll be 11 p.m. at night here. So we may or may not get a watch along for that one because we all, Sunday night at 11 o'clock at night. It's pretty late. I mean, the next week the start of the season kicks off the same time the following weekend, so we're going to have to make do. But I'm probably going to try and do a live on Saturday night at about 10 o'clock Australian time, so about 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
GMT time. Going to try and get a live done on that day. The later for us, the better. We both have families and stuff to deal with and work, so we'll try and get that out for you guys. If it's not myself and Delane, it'll be me or Delane, either or either. We'll figure it out. But make sure you like and subscribe, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hit that notification button and comment down below on your thoughts on Joe Lewis, Jay-Z, and Harry Kane. I mean, once again we talk about it, but we're sick of it.
Yep.
Anyways, guys, take it easy, stay safe, and as always, stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, guys.